I got another good one. And this one is from Kevin Stevenson. And he is from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I love his letter because he confirmed what I tried to bring to the table, no pun intended. But it's my desire to stimulate and bring up memories that you might not have thought about for a long time. But we connect many things that we do through the food and where we were, who cooked it, and the smells. I remember one day, and I probably told y'all before, but we were at 311 West Congress. It was in our first restaurant downtown, and it was just a one-room restaurant. It was rather small, and there was a four-top sitting kind of in the center of the room, and I saw this man dabbing his eyes, and I knew he was crying. So I walked over and I put my hand on his shoulder and I said, "Sir, are you okay?" And he looked up at me and he said, "Yes, I'm okay." I just thought that I would never taste, it was either his mother or his grandmother's food ever again. And he said, "This food tastes just like I'm sitting at her table." And that's what I want to do. I want to help you think about those good memories. You know, when we felt safe and secure and nobody could hurt us because we had mamas and daddies and grandmas and grandpas that would take care of us. So he goes on to say, "I'd like to share a recipe with you that my grandma used to make, and it really takes me back. It's funny how smells and food really transports you back in time and rekindle the fond memories of places and people we hold dear." And last year I made her molasses cookies, and he said he literally cried because they tasted just like hers. And he said, "Let me know if you'd like the recipe." Of course I would like the recipe, Kevin. That goes without saying. But he said, "Thank you so much for what you're doing. I've enjoyed watching your YouTube show through this pandemic, and I do hope you continue posting videos long after this mess is done." And Kevin, as long as y'all need me to be here, that's how long I'll be here. Until the good Lord calls me home. So how's that? All right. So this is a hamburger biscuit casserole, y'all. I've got a pound of ground beef, and let's see how many onions. One small onion chopped. So that's probably almost a cup of chopped. You know, you can't have too many onions as far as I'm concerned. All right, now let's see, I need my spoon. Well, first I need to turn the stove on. That'd probably help, wouldn't it? So we're gonna brown this. And while that's browning, I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna mix up our buttermilk biscuits. Now, I didn't have buttermilk. Can't believe I let myself run out of buttermilk. But I just put a little vinegar in it to turn it into buttermilk. And you can see it's kind of clabbering on top of it. Can you tell? Can you see that, Eddie?
Yes.
Okay, so I am using Paula Deen biscuit mix because it is the best biscuit mix I have ever tasted. And I had to work on this for, it was into the years to find something that suited me just right. All right, so Kevin goes on to say, after this is done, he doesn't say anything about draining, so I'm not gonna drain it. And he said, add 1 jar of pasta sauce with 1 tablespoon of sugar. So there's my sugar. And y'all know that I use Rayo's. I don't mind saying it's the best. I've just about quit making marinara, y'all, because I take this and I add a little bit more Italian herbs to it, but it's positively delicious. And I had one of the owners on my show years ago, and he made marinara sauce right here in this very kitchen. He made it on this aisle right here. I remember it like it was yesterday. And we took our plates with I can't remember the pasta that we had. I can't remember if it was angel hair or fettuccine or something like that. But anyway, we went out on the back porch and had our pasta with his marinara. It was so incredibly good. So he told me that we have products. We've got products in the store. So, man alive, I raced down that store and started looking for Rayos. And they don't pay me a dime for that, y'all. If I see a good product, I like to share. I don't like to just talk about the bad things, but also the good things. And they are good. So, like I said, I'm using my Paula Deen biscuit mix. And Kevin says to drop biscuit batter on top of your casserole. So I'm assuming, and we all know what assume means. Means an ass out of you and me. But I would think in order for them to drop that they would have to be a little looser than a regular biscuit. So I think I didn't measure the milk. I may need some more mix. I think I got this too thin, Teresa. Okay, our onions and our ground beef is ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and add my salt. And that's not much pepper, Kevin. But that's how much he says to add, so that's what I'm doing. Michael will definitely be adding more pepper to his. I have to make him happy, I have to have like the top of his scrambled eggs black with pepper. To each his own. So that's our jar of spaghetti sauce. And now we're going to add our green beans. I forgot the tablespoon of sugar that is supposed to go in when you put the tomato sauce. So it's going to be a little sweet. I think like Kevin, he sounds like he'd be a sweet man. Any man loves their grandmamas. They got to be pretty good. All right, this has been sprayed. I think Teresa has sprayed this. So he tells us to use an 8-inch square baking dish. Kevin said this is one of those delicious little casseroles to serve on a chilly night, maybe in the autumn time. I'm sure in Scranton it probably gets cooler quicker than it would down here, wouldn't you say, Eddie?
I would say.
All right, so this is the stiffness that I decided to do. Now it would be hard to do a roll biscuit. We'd have to have more mix, but I think this will qualify good for a drop biscuit. So we'll see. Okay, so I've used every bit, even though I had an extra probably cup. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to take my nonstick and I'm just going to spray the top of those biscuits a little bit. Maybe that'll help them get like a golden brown. All right, Kevin says to bake this at 450. Yeah, 450 in the oven for 15 to 20 minutes or until your biscuits are brown.
Is it yummy?
Yes. My friends out there don't cook bad stuff. Right, Kevin? It is a perfect supper for a cool night. Thank you, Kevin. And I'm waiting on the molasses cookie recipe. Our daughter Michelle gave me her grandmother's recipe for molasses cookies that I thought was excellent. I made them this past Christmas. So, but I'd like to see how you do it, and I'll compare. Okay, Michael, here you come. I'm just gonna do a small amount.
Yeah, good. That's good.
There you go. You still got your fork.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It is hot.
I know. It'll burn you. Kevin, the only thing I'd do different, if I was starting over again baking it, I would pull out my fresh green beans from last night and use those rather than the canned. So that would be my tip and suggestion. Because fresh green beans are so good. Thank you, Kevin.
Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.